Your Majesties, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for always returning. Thank you so much for your show of love. Thank you so much for all that you do for this community to keep growing. Hope you're well in all your ways, Your Majesties, and you're loving yourself and others like always. Today we are analyzing the Greyzone report on the Nigerian president, what they had to say, and we will deliberate upon it. Let me just prepare your mind. Before the election of Nigeria, of course, the election itself, they've not finalized the whole thing. All right. Prior to the election itself, during the campaigning, there was a statement that Tinubu, aka Jagaban, the present president of Nigeria, was making, and that statement was to me like someone who, it seems to me like he was so desperate that he needed the position and that he can do anything to get the power. Statement like, this is my turn. Like others have led the country, others have, since the country have become a national cake, others have cut their own cake, the type of size they wanted, they cut and went. So now it is turn. He said, this is my turn, and that he's going to rule. And while the elections was approaching, a lot of things were happening during the elections. We all saw how it went down. Up until today, there are a lot of persons that are like, he just seated there, they never voted for him. There are persons that voted for him. You know, this nepotism have always been a problem. They use this. All right, nepotism have always been a problem. They use religion, they use culture, language, tribal, what have you, to incite all this whole confusion and do their thing. And the process where you are looking at this person, this is not my own brother, I have to take my brother. Now, is that your brother ready to do the job? Is that your brother ready to, deliver as he should? Deliver whenever he gets to that seat? Most of the times we don't think about this. We are blinded by, oh, it's my own, it's from my side. Even if it's bad, it's my own. These are the things that we do, and they rely on all these behaviors of ours, and they do what they want to do. All right, people voted him. A lot do not voted for him. Now, from even the results of the election, we already saw the way it was going. It was clear that he wasn't the one who won this thing, but there are a lot of things that has been done. There were a lot of magu-magu, we call him magu-magu underneath. All right, to tell you that it wasn't free and fair. It wasn't anything called democracy. It wasn't anything near democracy. Even the word democracy itself is just a tool. Because I don't know if you understand me anyway. So we saw this whole thing, how he did everything possible, and he won the election. Like he was declared winner. He was declared winner, and a lot are not happy about it. It's not because of anything, Your Majesties. A lot of things are underneath. Now, there is this guy who is out there. The news is gradually circulating right now, and he's analyzing Tinubu, the Nigerian president, aka Jagaban. The whole thing connected to him, how not fit he is for the job, but he is there because some people supported him, some people were his backbone, and there is a word he used that it's a shame to me personally, but I feel this is how far things have gone. He used the word imperial puppets. Of course, and this is how they do things. They use you to do what they want to do, and they delete you when you are not useful anymore. All right, the supremacists, those who control the world. All right, we know them. All right, they have been the one frustrating Niger, frustrating Burkina Faso, and other parts that are agitating for our freedom from them. Now we are going to listen ourselves, and we'll talk about it later.
Tinubu ordered electricity to be cut off to neighboring Niger. He's also been one of the strongest advocates for a military intervention, but did not win over the Senate, which actually rejected his call. Now, despite condemning the legitimacy of Niger's new rulers, the Nigerian president's own record has actually been called into question. This by a recent report by the Greyzone investigative outlet.
You have just over and over throughout his political career these huge corruption scandals that have somehow not managed to destroy his political career. Throughout this process, he's been meeting repeatedly, according to WikiLeaks cables that I reviewed, with the U.S. Embassy and its officials, and basically briefing them over and over again on the political landscape in Nigeria. The U.S. ambassador at the time said that his assessments have been very useful for the Americans. And so you have to wonder, why was Bola Tinubu never indicted in the United States? Why was he allowed to keep so much of the initially seized money from his bank accounts that was said to be involved in drug trafficking? What kind of deal was he able to strike with American authorities? And you have to also understand that Bola Tinubu is the perfect kind of imperial puppet for the United States. This is what they do over and over again, is they find a compromised figure, somebody that they can exert leverage on, and they prop them up. And the second that they become no longer useful, they go after them and they get rid of them. They put them in jail or have them taken out, So he for what's going on in Niger right now and in West Africa, he's the perfect person for the United States, because they can basically make him do whatever they want. The bigger problem here is that the Nigerian Senate has rejected his request to invade Niger. So it looks like he's trying to use his power at ECOWAS, the regional bloc that he chairs, to have an invasion. And just 2 days ago, ECOWAS said that they would attack Niger, but they won't announce when and where or how.
Important to note that Niger is vital in helping to keep the lights on in Europe. It's been its third largest supplier of uranium for the past 2 decades, which is, of course, key for nuclear energy. And amid the political turmoil in the West African country, Paris insists it must be business as usual. So back to Alex Rubenstein one more time from the Greyzone.
The future of Western economies, at least insofar as Western planners see it, rely on the exploitation of low-wage miners in Western Africa. And so this, the United States wants to do a Green New Deal that's going to require rare earth minerals. The United States wants to keep funding the military-industrial complex while they can't produce sophisticated weapon systems without this kind of stuff. And any kind of smart technology or green technology relies heavily on this stuff. And so this is in many ways a battle for the future of economic dominance. What's at risk here is a regional proxy war that is very dangerous for not just West Africa, but these things spill over. And I believe that this conflict in West Africa has a potential to spy a lot of control and brings us that much closer to World War III territory.
And perhaps no surprise that the US has not been sitting on the fence over this. There she is right there, top official Victoria Nuland. She made a mad dash to Niger, where she had, quote, difficult negotiations with some of the coup leaders, pressuring them to reinstate the deposed president. However, Nuland met neither with the ousted president nor with the new leader. And in the wake of Washington cutting off funding, it says it will resume the flow of cash if indeed the new military junta stands down.
The secretary announced on Friday also that we are pausing assistance to the government for the time being. That assistance will affect development aid to the government, security aid to the government. It's a significant amount. I don't have a number because it's a pause, and it's a pause that we would hope would be reversed if the junta leaders would step aside and restore constitutional order tomorrow. That pause would be the pause would go away and security assistance would be reinstated. But as we've made clear, hundreds of millions of dollars are at stake.
Well, delegations from Burkina Faso and Mali arrived in Niger.
Oh, Your Majesties, we heard all that. That's why I keep saying that most of our leaders in the continent have a pact that they have made with these Western people. It's something they have agreed on, all right? There are things that they know about. That, I don't know. It's like the continent just like a market where these people just come to and make a price for something for the whole people, for the whole group of people. These are what they do. And our leaders have failed us woefully. They failed. And that's why there's this fear. If they do not deal with the issue of Niger, so much so that the militaries of other countries get scared, maybe very soon, other countries will start the trend, will follow the trend rather that had started already. And by the time other military follow the trend, of course, they're going to be kicked out. They will be kicked out. And like I said, these military guys, if they start anything right now in any country, the people will follow them, because there's no country in the continent that people are not fed up with the West involvement with our puppet leaders. All the countries right now, people are fed up because the West is always involved with everything that we do. And people will support this people not because of anything, because they know that through these guys, freedom will come. And even the guys themselves want peace for their own people. And that is why you see what happened in Niger. After they took over, they did what? They took a civilian prime minister, because they are not just there because they want to take over, they want to rule. They are doing all these things because they want the right thing to be done. They can't be sitting, as agile men are there and they are watching how people are just coming to use them as if their senses are not functioning. Anyway, what do you think, Your Majesties? Leave your comment and thought there at the section, and I'll see you in my next one. Until then, love yourself, love others, stay safe, stay positive, always, Your Majesties, always. Bye for now.